Vladimir laughed when he thought how easy it would have been for an independent observer to ridicule that almost disembodied throng who in foreign cities imitated a dead civilization, the remote, almost legendary, even Sumerian mirages of St. Petersburg and Moscow from the years 1900 to 1916, which even back then, in the 20s and 30s, still seemed to come from some time before Christ. But at least, like most Russian writers from the first stirrings of their literature, these too were rebels. They were faithful to this sense of rebellion, and they had as great a sense of justice and freedom as their predecessors under the Tsars. Vladimir and Véra spent the second half of the 20s together in Berlin, even though Vladimir wanted to move somewhere else. He struggled with what he saw as the rigidity and pomposity of German culture. He wrote about his feelings toward Germany in Cloud Castle Lake, which he considered one of his best stories, in part because under the surface, as though it were at the bottom of a lake, it hid a completely different story, a story that, he was confident, no one would ever see. A year after their marriage, when Véra had gone to a spa in the Black Forest with her mother, he wrote to tell her that one of his wishes was to leave Berlin and Germany, to move to southern Europe with you. The thought of yet another winter here fills me with horror. German speech makes me feel sick. You can't live only on the reflections of street lamps in the asphalt. Apart from these reflections and blooming chestnuts and angelic little dogs guiding local blind men, there's also all the vulgarity, the coarse tiresomeness of Berlin, the aftertaste of rotten sausage and the smug ugliness. You understand all this as well as I do. I'd prefer the remotest province in any other country to Berlin. St. Petersburg, his lost city, was constantly on his mind. A little after he got married, he wrote a poem about his memories as an exile. Now he only remembered its first stanza. O recollection, piercing beam, transfigure my exile, transfix me, recollection, midst wind-swept heavenly expanses of unfrequented back-road fences, of street lamps with expressions. O'er my Neva, there come to mind those twilights like the rustling of obliquely shading pencils,